Greetings, everybody. Two. Oh my gosh. Wait. What's 21 minus one, Steve?
Hang on. 20.
Dude, first of all, how did you do that so quick? I don't understand.
Accounting, bro.
What was that?
Accounting.
Oh, accounting. Oh, okay, human calc.
Mhm.
Shout out.
Uh-huh.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is right. We are on our 20th. That's right. That's 10 plus 10. If episode of the Floor Spacers podcast. And today, I guess it couldn't have came at a better time, because the NBA season or the regular season is now officially at a conclusion.
Went by so fast.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, man. It was just like yesterday when I was like, yeah, bruv, like I'd be thankful for like a playing spot and then like, the All-Star game and all that. But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But here we are now. You know what I mean? Like, end of the season, literally the playing starts tomorrow. Like it's gonna be brazy. And it was definitely a fun ride. It was definitely a very fun season. I think for a 75th season or whatever, I feel like we had a pretty good year. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, anyway, guys, I mean, like I just said, the playing starts tomorrow. Sunday night was actually there was like what 4 games at 3:30 or 2 games, 3 games, almost 4 games, right? Yes. Yeah, good. Yeah, there was like a couple of games at 3:30 that that included all the playing teams, and then so everything kind of got laid out at the conclusion of around 5-6 o'clock. And so we got a lot of cool matchups coming our way. And obviously the playoffs aren't set until the play-in tournament is done. And yeah, without further ado, I mean, jump right into it.
Sure.
So tomorrow, of course, at 7:30, it's 7 o'clock,
7.
right? At 7 is your one and only truly beloved Cleveland Cavaliers facing the Brooklyn Nets with the silent F, because the F stands for frauds, right? And that's tomorrow's game. And yeah, Steve, I mean, obviously you already know how I feel about it. I mean, I think we liked our chances better. If obviously Jarrett was playing, but as of I think 2 o'clock or something today, I think Shane's report, I think Evan Damro reported it, that Jarrett will not be available tomorrow, which makes me very sad and kind of frightens me a little bit. But with that being said, I'm not trying to sound like a homer or sound too much like a fanboy. I thought we played Brooklyn pretty good on last Friday, and in that second half, I thought we came up with a pretty good defensive scheme against KD, and I like it. I think Lamar Stevens did a pretty good job initially, and then the way we kind of set up the help defense was actually really smart too, because I think it was at first like KD was trying to get into the hoop willy-nilly, but then it was. And then I think JB subbed in Lamar, put him on KD, and then once I think KD got below the free throw line, that's when like a guy like Jetty or Lowry would cheat over and try to trap him a little bit, and that actually worked a lot. And we actually got it back to the game. We took a lead, actually, like a 5-point lead. Obviously, we choked it away, but I think with proper film and rest, I think we should probably put up a better fight. Hopefully, go out and win, even though it might be a tall task, but. My whole thought process is if we lose tomorrow and we play whoever wins between Atlanta and Charlotte, I think, right? Yeah. What's it called? I think we definitely need Jared back for that game, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait for tomorrow. I mean, that's the first game of the night. How do you feel about that?
I'm in a similar boat as you, where obviously without Jared Allen, it's going to be an uphill battle for the Cavs, especially after how they've struggled recently with their defense. Hasn't looked nearly as good as it did before. They were top 3 defense for majority of the season.
Yeah.
Once he goes down, Mobley has been kind of he hasn't really been the defensive anchor for them all season. He's been more of a help guy. He'll switch on to some guards. He'll defend the pick and roll really well, but he hasn't really been an anchor down low. And, he's not really built for that yet. And, it makes sense he's a rookie, but I think they're going to really struggle without Jared Allen. With that being said, I think I don't think it's going to be I think they have a chance. Brooklyn recently has been, if they're not outscoring you, what I mean to say is they need to outscore you for them to win. Their defense is, especially recently, has been really bad. They
Yeah.
almost blew that game to the Pacers yesterday. The Pacers were sending a lot of doubles to them the whole game, similar to what you were saying what the Cavs did a few games ago as well. So yeah, KD's been more of a facilitator these last few games, and it's kind of been on Kyrie and the rest of the guys to step up and make their shots. With KD being like doubled in the focal point of the defense,
Yeah.
but it's still the Nets are still. I still see them as a contender, and I wouldn't pick them to make it out of the East, obviously, because they have an uphill battle themselves, being the 7th seed if they win this game, obviously. But yeah, I think the Nets are going to win that one just based on the fact that they have Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Darius Garland, I think, has had an amazing season. He's definitely in contention for most improved, which we'll talk about at a later date with when Aaron's back. But yeah, I would probably take the Nets in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you. That's obviously the safest route. And I think I don't know if it's because of Ramadan and all that, but Kyrie hasn't looked he's kind of been a little bit off his game a little bit.
He looked amazing yesterday though.
But he was great in the closing moments yesterday. So I mean he might have gotten it back. I don't know. But alas, I'm confident in the skills of Isaac Okoro, Lamar Stevens, and Evan. And yeah, man. I mean, I can't wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. And I think the second game is against, or it's
second game is Minnesota and the Clippers.
Okay, now that's gonna be a really fun game, I feel like. But I mean, I guess for the similar reasons listed, well, the similar reason that you listed, I think I would go with Minnesota here, just because I feel like their offensive guys could probably come through, can probably outlast the Clippers. There was the Amir Coffee game that we saw. We'll talk about later, but yeah, no, I think regardless, I feel like I think Minnesota is probably ready to kind of take care of business and kind of show that they really did make a leap this year. And yeah, I think I mean there's not much to say there. I mean, because obviously the Clippers have been playing great. And honestly, I feel like even if the Clippers lose tomorrow, I feel like they'll lock up the 8th seed. That's just me personally, but yeah, I think that's a little bit more less to say about that. But I mean, yeah, I think I got to go with Minnesota for that one.
Well, with these playing games, they're one game elimination, like March Madness style games. So there's not really like a right or wrong answer. Like anyone could get upset at any time, depending on who's going off on any given day.
Right.
But with this one, I'm kind of a little different. I think the Clippers are going to win personally.
Okay.
And for the reason for that, their last 5 games since getting Paul George back, they're 5-0 in their last 5. Paul George looked really good as both his jump shot's been falling, his playmaking has been really good. He hasn't looked like he lost much of a step on defense either. They added a bunch of guys since he went down, so adding all those guys to Paul George, I think they're going to be pretty dangerous, to be honest.
Is Norman coming back, pal?
Norm came back for the last 2 games, I think.
Oh, I guess I'm tripping then. All right, I forgot about that. All right, that's kind of scary then. Yeah, actually,
yeah.
You know what I'm going to say.
Plus, also, in the last 2 weeks, the Wolves have been kind of struggling a little bit in the games they've played.
That's true.
We've been talking about most of the season how their defense is much improved, how a lot of their guys have, kind of made strides on that end. But in the last 2 weeks, I checked earlier today when I was looking into these games a little bit. The Wolves actually have like the 28th ranked defense in the last 2 weeks. So they've kind of been struggling a little bit. They were in contention for that 6th seed with the Nuggets, but then they kind of fell out of it recently. But yeah, this is kind of why I think that the play-in idea is somewhat a little bit flawed. We talked about it on the previous episode, how I thought that the bubble idea was a little bit better, where there was a 4-game threshold for you to qualify.
Yeah.
The Wolves are so far ahead of. Let me just check actually exactly. They are 46-36. The Pelicans are 36-46. So they're a good 10 games above the 9 seed. I feel like their spot should be kind of secured.
Well, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Especially with them struggling these last few weeks, and the other teams getting momentum, that could put them in a pretty bad spot if they lose 2 of these games and the other teams catch fire. So I'm kind of worried for them a little bit because the Pelicans have looked really good lately with CJ and Ingram kind of coming back and getting involved in everything. And with the Clippers getting Paul George and them getting relatively healthy again. So I think it's going to be tough for Minnesota, but I still think that they're probably the favorite. They've been the most consistent team out of all these playing teams this season, both East and West, I'd say.
Yeah.
So I would probably take them to still make the 7 or 8 seed. I don't think they're gonna fall out of it,
Oh, yeah, definitely not gonna fall out of it. Yeah, yeah,
but
that's
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Clippers for 7. I feel like something's gonna shake up.
okay. Yeah, I completely forgot about the Norman Powell thing, but yeah, that's a great point too, because I think yeah, it comes back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, where um, yeah, like you start to think about okay, like is this system really fair? You know what I mean? Like, um, yeah, I mean, yeah, because when we've seen it before years past, where teams lose out on the 8th spot, in like the second to last game of the season or something like that, and then for those teams, you really got to feel bad for them, right? Because it's like, like it just comes down to like, all right, who was healthy this game? What night was your shot not falling? You know what I mean? So that could be the slightest difference between you making the playoffs or not. So I mean, I do agree. I feel like if people are or not people, if teams are within a range of each other, um, a number that I don't know yet, but and we talked about it before, but yeah, I feel like the NBA should probably like revamp that a little bit, just because like again, yeah, if you're above like 10 games, like you know what I mean, like
Yeah,
you already did your job, you know what I mean. Just because of a recent slippage, that doesn't mean you should suffer for that, right?
right.
Um, and so like yeah, if they just wanted to do like actually, no, I'm not even proposing an alternative, but no, I agree. I think it should just be within a range because it's like I don't think like a team, should really be rewarded for playing better for the last like 4 weeks of the season, and then they find themselves in the 10th spot, and then yeah, and you're right. One guy could have a great game, and then next thing you know, like you know what I mean, they're in the play-in, and they can change up the whole landscape. So yeah, I feel like that's pretty dumb. Obviously, like yeah, I guess hopefully at least I think like the board of governors and all the decision makers kind of look at that and be like, all right, like maybe we should chill with it a little bit. But yeah, I think yeah, you're right because I completely forgot about Norman Powell and just the general fact that they've just been playing better recently. And I think I was watching or not watching. I think I was scrolling through the scores a couple of days ago, and then like yeah, it's true. I think Minnesota's been dropping a lot of games recently. I mean, granted, it might be just because like for quote unquote rest, or maybe the guys just don't care as much anymore. But I mean, even if they've been playing tournament, I mean, they probably should. I don't know, but regardless though, like yeah, I mean, I think yeah, no matter how you look at it, I think both the Clippers and the Wolves will be in the playoffs. Like I know the Pelicans have been making a push and playing better recently, but I still don't think they'll. Okay, well, assuming nothing out of the ordinary or weird happens, like if you're just going about it, like who I think will win a game, you know what I mean? I think LA or Minnesota would beat, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, that being said, I don't think San Antonio's going to beat New Orleans, right? So I don't think they're going to do that.
I don't know. Like I know DeJounte's been out recently,
Yeah.
and I know he came back the last game, and they had like all their starters playing like limited minutes against who they played. They played Golden State. Or no, they played Dallas on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
They lost that one, but all their guys are back now, so it seems like both teams are going to be as healthy as they can be. Like obviously the Pelicans don't have Zion, but they haven't had him all year, so
Mm-hmm. Right. That's
so
true.
like it's going to be both teams with like all their guys they've had this season to get where they are now. I'd probably also take New Orleans in that matchup, just because ever since they got CJ, they've kind of like, well, even before they got CJ, they were on a roll, but with him coming in, that just added another layer to their offense.
Right.
And I think especially the last few years too, CJ has been in the postseason. He's been really good. He stepped up his game. He's been pretty efficient actually.
Mm,
And I think the Pelicans will probably win that one, but I don't know if I can see them beating the Clippers or Wolves, like you said.
yeah. Right. Exactly. But again, that should be another fun game for another fun matchup, I think. And
I thought it was kind of a bummer on Sunday, like you said, the early games, how they had all 4 of the East playing teams like playing at the same time.
yeah.
I kind of wish that there was a little bit more competition in those games. Like they all were playing against teams who were either trying to better their lottery odds, or in the Cavs case against the Bucks, they were just didn't really care about winning that one.
Yeah. I mean,
They,
for my mental sanity, I needed a game like that. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I'm actually really glad that Giannis didn't play, even though we beat him last time. We beat him last time, but yeah, I'm glad he didn't play. Yeah, no, yeah, that's a great point. And I think yeah, it's like, you know, well, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, who did the Hawks play again? They played the Magic.
the Hawks played Houston.
Oh yeah, they played Houston, but it wasn't a close game though, right? I'm pretty sure they lost like by like
They were up by a lot the first. I was watching that game a little bit,
yeah.
but I was more focused on the Pacers and Nets game. But I had that
Oh,
game
that
on
was
the
yeah.
background,
Yeah.
and what's it called? They were up by double digits at halftime, and then the third quarter the Rockets kind of made a push, and then the fourth quarter the Hawks kind of ran away with it. Yeah, I think they were up by like 20 in the fourth.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw something about that, and I was like, all right, like, you know what I mean? Because like seeing all that, and then it was like I think if they won, they would have took the eighth spot, and that means we have to win 2 games to get in, and so that would have been a lot more scarier. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
um, yeah, I think like I think in general, I think it's going to be interesting how this like playing like shakes out because again, it could really go either way just because of the fact that it's like a 1 game elimination. Like Aaron's favorite league, the NFL, which does definitely bring up the weirdest I guess results. But yeah, no, I think yeah, again, should be fun. Tomorrow's slate of games, and then what Wednesday is the Hawks and
Wednesday is Hawks, Hornets,
yeah.
and Spurs, Pels.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so since we're talking about the Spurs Palace game, Hawks Hornets, I think I will go with the Hawks there.
Same here.
Especially because Gordon Hayward's out, and I think just overall, like the Hawks been playing like better recently, and I think Trey definitely is going to step his game up, and I think just in general, I think I'm not going to say the Hawks found something, but I mean I think they got their crap together, so to speak. In the
I
nick
feel
of
like their
time.
defense has been noticeably better lately too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's like, yeah, we're talking about the defense that was like what, like 23rd in the league for the most of the season, or whatever. Like,
Yeah, like
so it's like, yeah,
very
they definitely
underwhelming
picked it
compared
up
to
a little
last
more.
season.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And yeah, so I feel like, going, using that, I guess, I don't know, momentum boost. You know what I mean? I think they could definitely route. Well, not route, but I feel like they could definitely beat the Hornets.
I feel like
That'd be
Clint's been
another.
a lot more engaged too recently. Like I feel like they've with ever since John Collins went out, they've been like kind of running more pick and roll actions with Trey and Capella more often again. Clint's
Yeah.
been kind of like getting like some more lobs. They've been kind of targeting him more lately. I definitely have noticed that his game, he's definitely gotten like more engaged defensively now. Ever since they started like taking some of his minutes away for Okongwu for a while.
Oh,
But yeah, I
yeah.
think I think the Hawks got this one, especially considering the Hornets played in the play-in last year against the Pacers. I think that was the 9-10 matchup. And I think they gave up like 140 points to the Pacers and they lost by
Oh,
like 30.
nice.
I remember watching that game and I was it was like the first playing game. I was like, I'm hyped, and then it was just a complete blowout. And I was like,
Yeah, I remember that
Hornets
game.
really
Yeah,
let me
yeah, yeah.
down.
Yeah, that was yeah. I think me and Andrew watched that together, and we were like just watching, like, dude, what is this game? Like, what the hell's going on right now?
Yeah,
But
but the Hornet we already know the Hornets aren't gonna they haven't had a very good defense for the past few seasons now, and it hasn't really gotten any better this season. I did look at their previous matchup with the Hawks though, and I think they won the last one. I think Montrezl Harrell actually had like a 20-point game. So,
oh, interesting.
I guess they match up pretty well against each other. Like they're both
Yeah,
offensive minded teams, but I
yeah,
think at the end of the day, the Hawks, like I think Trey Young, we saw what he did off season, not off season, last postseason, and how he led that team to the conference finals. I feel like I don't know if don't know if they're going to go that far again, obviously, but I
yeah,
think that they should be fine against the Hornets.
yeah. No, I think so too. And yeah, I think it's gonna be the second straight year where it is proven that uh LaMelo Ball is a bust,
Yes.
and yeah,
L
and
plus ratio plus Edwards better.
exactly, and Onyeka and Ballsack and
Yes.
Maxi and Kyra Lewis Jr. Speaking of which, I haven't heard that Bull's name in years.
He tore
Um,
his ACL this year. I think he's been out the whole year.
no, no, well, I
It was
forgot
like
about
beginning of the
that.
season.
Well, rest in peace, Kyra Lewis. I'm sorry I disrespected you, and I'll come back better next year.
Not to well actually I'm sure Aaron might be watching right now. So let's like just real fast. This is for you, Aaron. Well, did you see that Adam Schefter tweet about Dwayne Haskins when he passed?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was fucked up.
Dude, that was dude. Like, what's the point of writing that? Like, the report is death. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dog.
Why you gotta treat him like he's like some like he's like why do you treat him as a human being, just like
Yeah,
especially when you're announcing someone's death.
yeah.
Like, why do you gotta talk about like his shortcomings in his career and like mention that before you even make your announcement? Like he
Oh,
posted
by
like
the
an
way, he
apology.
couldn't play swing in the league, but he died. By the way, I mean, I don't know. No, that's a great point though, because it's like it's funny because there's like a because I think like us as fans, we try to we start to see like players as like chess pieces or whatever. You know what I mean? Like quote unquote chess pieces, like they're pawns on a board or like there's some sort of like like machine or asset or something like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But right, that's at the end of the day, like what I mean. They're human beings. They can die, bro. Like you don't you don't write like, oh yeah, well he never made an improvement to his game anyway. You know what I mean? Like, bro, who cares about that, dog? Like he died. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's weird.
Right.
And
That's
then
why I love listening to like NBA player podcasts. Like JJ Redick always has different players on. Like obviously they talk about a lot of sports and basketball because that's what they do at the end of the day, and that's how they're connected with one another. But just hearing like the human side of them, like it's like these guys are just like me. They're around our age too a lot, especially the guys coming to the league now.
right,
Just seeing like all the similarities, like these guys are human beings too. Like
exactly. No, that's what I'm saying. And then like, yeah, and then yeah, it's just a sad situation overall. I was like, bro, what? And then a lot of people are calling for ESPN to like discipline him and all that, and I think that they should because that's just so out of pocket. Imagine saying like Kobe, like in like a Kobe tweet, they're like, oh, Kobe Bryant, who famously has the most missed field goals or something,
yeah, right.
like in NBA history has died. Like, bro, like there's no relevance. A, right. B, like no one cares. Like someone just died. No, you don't bring that up. Like, you know what I mean?
Like if Woj got like suspended for a few weeks for that one thing he did a few years ago with like the politician, like he sent an email to a politician. I forget exactly what it was about, but
oh yeah,
he like emailed some politician who did something they didn't like, and then he got suspended for 2 weeks. I was like, if they took action with that, they gotta do something with this.
yeah, they gotta do something with this one. And Woj is much more of a moneymaker too than I mean,
Yeah.
at least I feel like he gets more like pop culture buzz than Schefter does. You know what I mean? All the mentions and tweets and stuff with Woj. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it on the Fourth Down Converters podcast.
Oh yeah.
Featuring ABJ XII on Saturday night. But
that was for you, Aaron, and for you, Kank.
Of course, of course. I mean, okay, so that's the playing picture, but I mean, as far as that goes, I mean,
we do have some confirmed first round matchups now too.
Yeah, there are some confirmed ones. I mean, you want to start with the Milwaukee Chicago one? I thought that's kind of
yeah, sure.
But yeah, no. I mean, well, yeah. Speaking of the thing, I feel like obviously, I mean, what's the stat? They're what, like 1-82 or something? What was the record? Like they're terrible against
something really bad. I think it was like wasn't it like 1-20 or 2-20, something like that.
Yeah, some
top,
crazy.
Was it top 6 teams or top 8 teams?
Top 8 teams, something like that. Like yeah. Like it's like the fact that they're struggling to win against like elite teams and they've like consistently failed is kind of weird. It's kind of worrying as if you're a Bulls fan. And we talked about it last episode too. I told you guys where I hopped on the Bulls subreddit during one of the games, and they just seemed like genuinely worried. And then I remember I was watching the Suns game and seeing how easily they picked them apart. And just in general, it's just they haven't been good against playoff teams or championship contender teams. And we talked about it too, like Vucevic, like last week had like a dud of a game. And again, I just don't think he's going to help you as a playing, or he's going to help a playoff team, or just not as your starting center, in my opinion. But yeah, and I think it's just in general, I think similar to that New Orleans, San Antonio thing. It's like, all right, like you can see. I mean, I guess you can list points for Chicago where it's like, all right, maybe that could come through and help them win a game or two or make it like somewhat competitive. But I think Milwaukee just takes the cake, like without really too much of a fight, where they gotta like sweat too hard. You know what I mean? I think I'm not gonna say it's like a sweep or like a 5-game like gentleman sweep where it's like they blow them out by 20 or 30 every single time. But like I think a lot of people have been saying that. I don't think that's gonna happen. But at the same time, I don't think it's gonna be. Like I don't think Milwaukee should have too much of a problem if they play right. You know what I mean? If they kind of get out of that little bit of a lull, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I don't really think like Milwaukee's obviously the heavy favorite in this series. And obviously props to the Bulls for the season they had. Like a lot of people including me were kind of thought that they were going to be like this overrated team where they overpaid for DeRozan. I really like the Lonzo acquisition and the Caruso acquisition from the beginning, but
yeah,
I didn't expect them to have this start that they did to make it this far. I had them as like an 8 or 9 seed, I think, in our preseason prediction podcast. But yeah, at the end of the day, they just aren't equipped like to win against a team like the Bucks in a 7-game series. I wouldn't be surprised if it went 4, but I'd give them the benefit of the doubt. I think the Bulls can probably like get a win. Mm-hmm. We know that now that they're going to be without Lonzo for the rest of the season, which sucks because he was having such a good year for them.
Yeah.
His jump shot really came around. He was kind of like, we talked about it before too, like how him and Caruso were kind of like the anchors of the defenses, the guards, which is something you don't really see very often with teams. But Yeah, like unless they can like kind of figure out like unless they can get back on that groove they were in the beginning of the season where they were just forcing a lot of turnovers, like running in transition. Like if they can try to do something with that, like I don't really see them having much of a chance.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, exactly. It's like again, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention that. Like again, props to Chicago for playing great and doing what they did. And then it's going to be interesting to see what they do, this summer. But yeah, I think Milwaukee, like I said before, like I mean, for me, everyone knows that. Obviously, I think they're my favorites to come out the East, so I don't really obviously don't have them losing, but especially in this series, I don't think it should be too much of a hassle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I mean, I still think Chicago is going to play better than what people will give them credit for or people will anticipate. I feel like at least, but again, that's predicated on DeRozan kind of shedding that playoff. Uh, I guess that the reputation he has in the playoffs of not really showing up. And
You know,
Levine,
in the postseason when the game slows down, DeRozan and Levine are obviously two guys you would love to have in any series
right?
in the half court offense. But at the end of the day, in the playoffs, you need to have the defense to like these games are more obviously more grinded out and slow paced than
Yeah.
in the regular season in
And that's
most
what I'm saying
cases at
too.
least.
That's what I'm saying too, because that's like I feel like, like everyone always, especially that Raptors year in 20 like 15 or 18, I think. Sorry, where the Raptors like were like on a tear, like I think the first seed or something like that. And then, people are still expecting a lot from, DeRozan to finally show up in the playoffs or do something crazy, look at the half court. And like, he was kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like, all right, whatever. And then, same with Levine. I feel like he's also going to have to show kind of his stuff a little bit too this year. And then, like I said, Vucevic, I never really trusted him like that, so he's also going to do it. But like I said, I don't think the Bulls are going to completely flame out. I feel like they should again if they kind of I don't know, like if they kind of just take it serious. I feel like they should make it interesting. But
Especially against a team that's well equipped with perimeter defenders like the Bucks.
right, exactly, yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, moving. I mean, I don't even know what the other matchups are. Just I guess
All
go
right, well,
through.
I guess we can stick with the East. The 1-8 and the 2-7 are obviously still undecided because the
Mhm.
play-in hasn't occurred yet. But uh, 5-6 or 4-5 rather, we have Sixers and Raptors, which I think is probably as of right now out of the series that we know is probably going to be the closest series.
Yeah, definitely. That's gonna be a great
And
series. Yeah,
I'll say right now, as a Sixers fan, I am petrified to be honest.
as you should be.
We Matisse isn't going to be able to play road games as of right now due to the vaccine. And at least games 3 and 4, he's not going to be eligible to play. He did say, I think, that he got the first shot, but I think you have to wait 2 weeks at least till you get the second one.
Yeah, something like that.
So I don't really know how that's going to play out for Game 6, but
Wait,
for
but
at
when did
least
he
Game
hit the
4 and
first
5,
shot though?
I'm not sure. You would think that knowing that there's a possibility that you're going to be playing them, that you would get it beforehand. Like I don't
Yeah,
understand
right.
that,
Yeah, I don't understand that. Yeah, it's pretty dumb on his part.
but it's whatever.
Yeah,
I think that I don't think Danny Green should be playing the amount of minutes that he will be. Personally, like, I feel like he's more of like a 15, 20 minute guy off the bench at this point in his career. But with what the Sixers have shooting wise, like we kind of need him to play more minutes
yeah,
than he should be.
right.
He has been catching some heat lately, to be honest. So that's good at least. But uh, I think the X factor in the series is definitely Harden. He has not looked himself lately these last few weeks. He's definitely you could definitely tell that he's a lot slower on his feet and his drive. He's not really blowing by guys like he was before.
Yeah,
His shot hasn't really been falling with it consistently. His shot was never really too consistent, but he's not really taking as many shots as he did before either. His shot, he's been a lot more passive recently, which we need him to be the playmaker that he's been. That's been good, but in the playoffs, like especially against a team like the Raptors, who are going to be doubling Joel with like several big men, they're going to be throwing at him all series. We can't expect Embiid to put up like 40 and 15 every night to get out of this series. We're going to need Harden to do something.
exactly.
And while I do have faith in him, I do think he can put it together. It's just I don't know. It kind of looks like he's been playing through an injury, like his hand. It might be his hamstring, which he's been dealing with these past few seasons now. I'm really happy with what we've gotten from Maxi. It's kind of crazy that he's like third in the league in 3-point percentage now. I would like to see him take more catch and shoot opportunities, but with him coming off of screens and like coming into his own off the dribble and hitting the shots. Pretty difficult sometimes too, contested. Like it's definitely a good sign. I feel like he's going to be pretty involved in the offense this series. But the Raptors are well equipped with perimeter defenders as well. They have Van Vliet, who is an all-star this year, and he's probably going to get some all defensive consideration. Gary Trent, who's in the passing lanes all the time. I would imagine they're going to start with OG guarding Harden to start the series with him being back now too. Siakam is, if I had an All NBA vote, he'd probably be on my All NBA third team for forwards at this point. He's been spectacular. This has been his best season, despite the slow start. But yeah, I'm pretty scared for this series.
Yeah, no, yeah, I mean, you guys know how I feel about it. Well, not you guys, but I've said in the chat, like, it's gonna be a really fun series. I'm not saying this to hate. Like, I could honestly see Toronto winning the series, just because of the fact that, like, I think Toronto. Yeah, I feel like Toronto's probably the only team in the league where you can't get a switch, or you can't get a mismatch. You know what I mean? Like, if there's really no switching with them, it's just one 6'8" guy to another 6'8" guy or 6'9" guy with like long limbs and a good defensive motor. So I feel like that's one thing about Toronto that I think could definitely disrupt what Philly's going to try to do. I feel like in this series, I feel like especially when the game slows down, I think it's going to be like a pick your poison two-man type thing a lot with Harden and Embiid. But again, like I said with the Raptors, I don't know if that's really going to do much or really going to shake up their their game plan. And like you said too, I think they've obviously caught fire a lot recently, and they've been a really good team. Siakam's playing out of his mind. Van Vliet, I feel like I think his knee sounds like less of an issue now. And then, they still have their, that championship aura around them. They still have that, veteran leadership. You're talking about even guys like, Precious, hitting all of his threes and all that. And, all
That
those
last Sixers game, he went 5 for 6 from three. There was one possession where he dribbled up the court, pulled up on the break from the top of the key, splash the three. I never thought I would see that.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. I saw a tweet somewhere that I think someone said that Achua is like the modern Clay or something. I was like, what? I was shocked. I was like, all right, that's a very interesting take. You know what I mean?
I think it was after that game. Kank was like, I was talking to Kank in the party, and he was like, "Is that the guy who was drafted before Maxey?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's him." He was like, "Oh, is he better than him? Because he seems pretty good."
Oh, what? No, but I mean, yeah, no, but I'm not okay, good. No, but no, that's what I'm saying though. I feel like if I'm a Sixers fan, like I would be kind of scared of the Raptors. I think the Raptors could really have a chance to win with that series. And yeah, I mean, especially when you consider the fact that Matisse might be out. I mean, I don't even know what else. Oh yeah, and then like I said, like you know, uh, the fact that they could probably just bring out like a guy, all their defensive guys, they could probably bring out Harden, who also hasn't been the most consistent recently. And like I said, it's going to be a very interesting series. I'll definitely be glued to that one because I think I feel like the 4 and 5 matchups are always really fun, but like this is the one where you could say like okay, like it okay, I'm not going to say it can go either way, but at the same time like we said earlier with the playing thing, like that's that. All right, so what I'm trying to say is, all right, so like the playing thing is only a one game, right? It's one game elimination, but
Right.
obviously this is like a 7 game series. This could also go either way, just like that. You know what I mean? I feel like
Because these teams, like, although the Sixers are more equipped, I feel like the Sixers are a better team because Embiid at the level he's been playing this season, they obviously have James Harden, who's had a lot of playoff experience. He's never really won the big one, so to say, but
yeah.
he's been there. He knows what he needs to do at this point. But yeah, I feel like they definitely have like the two stars. Like, not that Siakam's not a star, but I feel like Embiid and Harden are the two more established guys in the league at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably still lean Sixers. Maybe I'm a little biased, but yeah, I definitely think the Raptors have a fighting chance though.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But that's just for the East, right? Like that's it.
Yeah. Well, luckily for the Sixers too, I'll add our bench for the most part this season has been atrocious. We haven't really gotten much bench contributions much at all this season, especially with Furk. We paid Furk on to come back this year, and he hasn't really done much. He kind of fell out of the rotation some games too. But on the bright side, recently Shake has kind of found his shot. He's been a lot more aggressive offensively. Uh, and what else was I going to say? Obviously, Niang is there to space the floor. He'll probably get a lot of minutes in the playoffs, I would assume, off the
Yeah.
bench. And
Yeah.
the thing that really frustrates me is, what I want to say.
Yeah,
DeAndre Jordan is going to be getting playoff minutes. Doc pretty much confirmed it in the post game presser yesterday. Paul Reed dropped 25. Obviously, it's a meaningless game. You're playing against the Pistons and Luka Garza, so it's not really like anything to take away. But I feel like Paul Reed still does a lot more on the court than DeAndre does. I was watching this clip earlier today where I think I sent it to the chat. I don't know if you saw it, but DeAndre Jordan just on this possession, absolutely zero effort whatsoever. So
Yeah.
they put up a shot. DeAndre stands there, watches him get the offensive rebound when he wasn't really contested. He could have just grabbed it himself. They missed the putback, and then what happened next?
Did he kick it out for three or something?
Yeah, the ball was like tipped back out, and DeAndre like went to go contest the three, and then it missed again. And then the ball went back out again. And DeAndre, instead of going to get the ball, he just let it pass by and go towards half court. The Pistons pick it back up and then go and make a shot, which he doesn't contest.
No, yeah.
It's just there's the lack of like, I wish there was like an explanation for it. Like Doc's explanation was, if we're playing against a team who's playing big, then we're going to go DeAndre for the rebounds. If we're playing against a team that's going small, then we'll go Paul Reed. But it's like, especially against the Raptors too, like they don't really have any like big bigs. Like a lot of their guys are like versatile 6'9" guys. So like they're DeAndre Jordan's not going to be able to do anything against them.
Right.
So I don't see his logic, to be honest. And
I like Paul Reed a lot, so hopefully
I like him too. I personally I don't think he's ready for playoff minutes either, but I feel like he's our best option out of all what we have on the roster right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And a lot of people say like it's just a backup center, it's not a big deal, but the last time we played Toronto in the playoffs, that was kind of what swung the series. Those Greg Monroe minutes really killed us when Embiid was out of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's a great point because you're talking about obviously like in the playoffs like the rotations get smaller and minutes increase for guys, but at the same time you can't really have Embiid and then have it fall down to DeAndre Jordan. You know what I mean? Like there's got to be some sort of a buffer. I feel like, but that's a great point. And like I said, I think it's gonna be definitely interesting. And the Raptors should have kept Jakob Poeltl. They would have been crazy, but but yeah, I mean, but I think. Oh, also congrats to Joel Embiid for winning the scoring title. And
first big man since Shaq in 2000.
Yeah, right. It's also very cool. And
we'll move on to the West.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the West. Yeah.
All right, pick your poison. You want Golden State, Denver first, or Utah and Dallas?
Let's get Utah and Dallas out of the way because I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I said it before. I mean, it's gonna be a cool series, but I think I'll definitely give the edge to Dallas here, just because I think we've seen how good Dallas can be in the playoffs before, and when I thought they would, and I thought it was just going to be Luka, or when it was just Luka by himself, that they did better than I thought they would, and then we were talking about this year, but this year obviously what we're talking about. But you factor in guys like Brunson kind of bouncing back and I guess really finding that rhythm again, because I feel like once he got injured and all of that, I feel like that definitely kind of like hurt him and affected how his play was before. But I think when he's back to form now and he's doing what he's doing, that'll definitely help Luke out a lot. And the overall just defense is so much better now. You know what I mean? I feel like Mavs players are just more ready for the moment, I feel like. And I think the Jazz are going to keep doing what the Jazz have been doing the last couple of years. I just don't think they've ever addressed what the issue was. A porous perimeter defense, and then it was just Gobert by himself. And so I think Dallas, being as good as they are on defense, I feel like they'll be able to kind of come out and kind of put a dampener on Utah's game plan, like every team does, and they should be able to walk away with it. That's why I'm not really too I guess excited for this series, because it kind of seems a little too I don't know, foreseeable. I mean, again, I could be wrong, but I mean, the Jazz have been kind of playing weird recently. They kind of lost a couple of leads. And I think overall there's a bit of a turmoil, and it's kind of weird how they've been, they have the teams, kind of interacting. But I mean, maybe if I don't know, Clarkson come, on some crazy shit and kind of help, I guess get the team rolling, then maybe they could, be better. But at the same time, again, I think Dallas's like leap they kind of took this year is kind of too hard to ignore. And I feel like that should be able to kind of dispatch, Utah. Like again, should be a fun series. I guess it's gonna be similar to like the Milwaukee Chicago series, what I'm trying to say. Like I think it'll be like cool and good stuff will happen. But I think again, just as long as Dallas takes care of his business, it should be like a relatively hassle-free series for them.
This was a really exciting series for me. Uh, but I'm kind of nervous now after the Luka injury yesterday.
Yeah, he was on
He,
boots. He was on the
he was
boot.
wearing a walking boot today.
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit. Yeah,
And
that was crazy.
they said, I think, what did they say? Do you remember what they said it was? I think it was a,
I don't know. I don't remember.
yeah, I don't remember exactly what the injury was, but they said that he's going to be reevaluated by the end of the week. I think their first game, let me check. I think their first game is either Saturday or Sunday. Their first game is Saturday at 1 o'clock. So they need to know by then if he's good to go. Like, if Luka doesn't play, I don't see them having any chance, to be honest.
Oh
But
yeah, if he doesn't play, then yeah, then I'll take Utah, sure. But
like, if the Mavs are fully healthy, I'm with you on everything you said. I completely agree with. Like, their leap defensively they took this year, and as a unit in general, with their they have like three guards that they can put the ball in their hands now, and they could trust on any possession. They have shooters. They have, like I said, perimeter defense and interior defense. Like, I think they have the whole. I think they definitely make it past Utah in the first round. But without Luka, I don't see them having much of a chance because they have that heliocentric offense where everything goes around him.
yeah,
Um, and I think people don't give Utah enough credit. Like, I know they've had like a disappointing season to their standards recently. Like, obviously, we I think me and you both predicted them to be the one seed at the beginning of the season. Um, and it was deservedly so after last season. Like, they're well equipped for the regular season with Gobert and the shooters. Like, they have one of the best offensive systems in the league. So I still think that they can. Obviously, I think they still have a chance against Utah and against Dallas, regardless of Luka's healthy or not. I
yeah,
think they still have like a top 5 net rating in the league too, despite like all the losses they've had. Like, they've just been blowing a lot of leads recently. And they that's kind of like what they did in the playoffs last year too. They take a lead pretty early on, then just completely break down, especially in that Clipper series. But yeah, if Luka's not healthy for any part of the series, I feel like Utah definitely has an edge over them for sure.
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think Luka might miss game one, but I feel like he should be back by game two. You know what I mean? I think he should be chilling the rest of the week because I feel like it's like low key similar to the Lowry marketing situation where he might miss like a minute low key. But what game two is when Monday, Tuesday?
I would assume Monday. Let me check. That doesn't say yet. They don't have the full schedule yet.
Oh, okay, but yeah, no, I agree. Obviously, yeah, if Luka's gone, yeah, that definitely changes the whole dynamic of it. But yeah, if he's in there, then I think yeah, like what I said earlier. But again,
I saw people too on Twitter saying like, why was he even playing? Like, I'm pretty sure
yeah,
StatMuse is one of the ones who posted like, good job, Mavs or something like that. Like, why are
yeah,
you playing your star player in this meaningless game? But I was like, that wasn't a meaningless game. They had a chance to overtake the Warriors for the 3 seed. If the Warriors would have lost, and they would have won.
mm,
So it's like there's definitely a reason for Luka to be playing in that game. Obviously would rather have the higher seed, especially like a team like Dallas, who I think they were the 4-5 matchup the last 2 years as well against the Clippers both times.
yeah,
So I feel like they would like to have like a little bit of an edge with a home court advantage because
yeah,
that was kind of like what killed them last year in Game 7. They were in LA,
yeah. That's
but
true. Yeah,
yeah, like I hope Luke is healthy. I'm really looking forward to seeing. They were one of the teams I was really looking forward to watching this postseason. So it doesn't seem like at least from what I feel like there would have been like a much bigger reaction from the Mavs if it was more serious than it seems like it is. But
mm.
hopefully he doesn't miss too much time, if any.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of like these foot injuries, like they start off with like walking boots, and it's like they can't even walk, and it looks grave. But I think like as days goes on, they usually kind of like chill a little bit. That's what I noticed a little bit, as far as like those foot ankle injuries go. But yeah, that's true though. Hopefully he's back, and yeah, it doesn't look like the Mavs are too worried. So I mean, hopefully it should be chilling.
I guess
Otherwise,
we
I
can
think
move on to the other series now, which is like another series where we're like not 100% sure what we're going to be getting from the Warriors because Steph hasn't returned yet since his injury that he had a few weeks ago. I know they announced last week that they were going to just keep him out for the rest of the season. It seems like he's going to be ready to go by the start of this series with the Nuggets, but we don't really know how we don't really know exactly how healthy he's going to be. But it's Steph Curry. I feel like regardless, that team is going to like get him his shots. He doesn't even need the ball most of the time. Draymond's going to be having it with him back now. Uh, yeah, I think Warriors Nuggets. I think it's going to be a pretty good series to be honest. I know in the past, I think Denver won the last game that they played. Was that the game where Monte Morris hit the game winner?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Denver won their last meeting, but I feel like every game these guys have played this season has been close and it's felt like a playoff atmosphere. So seeing them matched up, that's going to be a really fun series. I feel like Jokic, who a lot of people have as their MVP, I think he's the favorite probably as of right now. He does everything for that team. We've talked about it all year. They're without their two best guys, and they're still, where they are. I think that, Golden State obviously doesn't have like a big man that is going to be able to stop Jokic,
Yeah.
but they're well equipped with, elite defenders. I think they were tied with Boston at the end of the season for the best defense in the league, like scoring like points per game wise for the opponent. But yeah, I'd probably still give Golden State the edge. They've been there numerous times. Denver, obviously, like you have Jokic, but then the rest of the guys around him, like I don't really see any of them being able to like take over a game, like Golden State guys can. Like Klay Thompson's kind of starting to heat up lately. These last few games, he had 41 the other night, I think. So he's kind of found a shot now. I still don't know, like, I think it's going to be cool to see how Jordan Poole plays in the playoffs. Like he's been doing really great especially these past few months, stepping up his game. And it's going to be pretty interesting to see like if they're going to be giving him shots opposed to like Klay and Steph. Like I wonder how much they're going to be utilizing him in the series.
Yeah, that's a great point. How much would him and the young guys kind of really step up because they've been playing great, especially as of late. But the playoffs are a whole different atmosphere. So how do they respond to that? And same thing with I think like Kuminga, like he's been looking great, but I mean, we'll even get burned in the playoffs. You know what I mean? And again, like what's the extent of the damage they will do? And so those some important questions. But I think I do largely agree. I feel like Golden State will win this, or they will win this one. But again, I think wait, they never said anything about Jamal Murray, did they?
I don't think he's going to be back.
Okay. Which kind of
it is weird though because I was watching the one Nuggets game. I forget what game it was, but it was earlier this week, and it was like pre-game. He was like shooting around. He seemed like obviously it's easy to it's definitely like a lot easier to shoot around than just to play a full 5-on-5 basketball game, 48 minutes. But he kind of seemed like he was moving around pretty well. I think he dunked the ball too, which is like a really good sign.
Okay.
It's kind of. I wonder if I'm assuming he'll be back to at least the start of next season. But I wonder if like he was ready to go and they're just being like kind of extra cautious.
Maybe I could see that. That's a good point too. But I mean, for the sake of the anti-Warriors sentiment, I hope Denver does win, and just genuinely just because I want to see like Jokic succeed. And like I said, I fell in love with the Nuggets like depth and what each guy was able to kind of do. And so I think they could kind of come through in the clutch for for Jokic and hopefully route the Golden State Warriors. That'd be ideal for me, but it's also true too because you got to see when Steph comes back and all that. So there's a lot of questions there to be asked. So I think that's a little bit more of the. I mean, I guess for me, kind of a bit more of the inconclusive one. It's going to be interesting how it shakes out. But yeah, it's going to be a fun series. I think regardless. I think, like I said, I think when we're discussing like what the implications would be if Dallas played that game and they took the second seed from what's it called from Golden State. You know what I mean? Like how the series would kind of shake out. But I think I like this scenario much better. But like I said, I think this is a series that I'm like really excited for. Because I think again, it's like I just want to see like what happens. I just want to see the Warriors lose and Wiggins continue to prove why he's a bust. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. But But wait, that's okay. So that's two series that we did. Is there a third one or no?
Well, it's just those two right now. Then you have the Phoenix and Memphis as the top two seeds, and they got to play the play-in
Okay.
guys.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting as well. So yeah, I mean, look, like in terms of like matchups, I feel like the plans are gonna be really fun, and so are the playoffs. I feel like, um, and I think, yeah, like I said earlier, I think just overall, I think this year definitely has proved for a lot more entertainment value, just because of the fact that I think team construction has gotten a lot better, and how, in terms of how like guys are stepping up and it seems like there's like a reinvigorated sense of like wanting to win across the league. I think, like I said, because I think that goes back to like the sense of balance, you know what I mean, across the league, and I guess guys kind of being like, okay, like what, like if we actually show up, we actually have a chance to do something. You know what I mean? And I feel like that sense is great for the league and it's great for like a product. I think, and I think the NBA like definitely likes that's happening, and I know damn well as a fan that we love it too. So yeah, like I'm just excited for. I mean, well, it starts tomorrow, so I guess tomorrow onwards until what, June 30th or whatever, or no, whenever it is in June. Like I don't know when it's done, but yeah, I can't be more excited for it, and I think we're truly blessed to see all this kind of shake out. But I mean, it's a shame that the teams aren't really healthy. Again, like the Nuggets, the Cavs. Um,
It always I feel like there's always at least one or two teams where it's like they're looking so good the whole season, then
yeah,
all of a sudden things just start to
things just die,
just
right?
yeah, they
Yeah,
just it's just
yeah,
luck at the end of the day.
yeah. It's sad, but again, though, I still am excited nonetheless for again just the overall picture as in general, and for the Cavs as well. And yeah, man, I think that's really it for like I guess like the postseason outlook. I guess.
Nothing better than postseason basketball.
Exactly. That's on everything. It's better than college lacrosse finals at Kyle. It's better than I don't know, football monk. It's better than the Phillies Nathan Custer. Thank you.
Phillies actually they were down 3-0 to the Mets. They just won 5-4. I was watching before.
Whoa.
I was actually watching before we started this podcast, and we were looking. The offense was looking absolutely atrocious, but they pulled it off in the end. Last few innings, I was kind of keeping up with on my phone here while we were talking a little bit.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, go Phillies.
Was it Bryce
Baseball,
Harper? Did he
football.
score? Did he score an RBI?
What is that?
I said, did Bryce Harper have an RBI or something? How do they?
I did not actually see. I didn't. I gotta go back and watch it.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume that Bryce Harper had RBI, and then Hamels
I
had.
hope he did it because I bet on him to have a hit.
Right. And I think Hamels would probably have like a fly ball. That's 3-pointer,
Yeah, Cole
right?
Hamels. Mm-hmm.
Cole Hamels, and then I'm thinking Shohei Ohtani. I think he's had a great season so far, and I think
Oh, he's been a great season for the Phillies.
yeah, it's been a great season for the
Mm-hmm.
Phillies. They're what? They're undefeated now, right?
They are 3-1.
Okay, well that's fine. That's well above 500. So they've had a great season, and I think personally he's got to do better and make sure that Charlie Manuel is calling the right plays out there, because I think if he's not calling the right plays, then how are we supposed to steal third on a nightly basis?
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yeah, so this is what the ninth inning uh
The extra
dugout
innings podcast.
extra innings podcast, yes, or the dugout men podcast,
Yes.
or the $1 Million Arm podcast.
That was
Okay,
a good
but
movie.
yeah, great movie. Let's go Pirates. I'm just kidding, but
All right.
yeah,
I actually wanted to ask you this.
yeah.
Before the playoffs start, like I'm assuming, I don't know if we're going to have another podcast before the playoffs start this weekend, but assuming we don't, who are your picks for the conference finals in each conference?
Damn, I didn't think about that. If it's the East, I'm gonna go with Milwaukee, obviously, and Cleveland. There's another
Milwaukee
way.
and Cleveland.
Yeah, I'm.
So you're saying that the Cavs are going to lose the first game in the
Yeah,
play?
yeah. And then
Okay.
I mean, as long as I go to the conference finals, I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. Milwaukee. Wait, hold on. Let me look at the seedings because I don't want to mess this up. But you say yours real quick, and then I'll let me look at this. I don't.
As of right now, for the East, I would go personally Milwaukee and Miami. I
Okay.
wanted to go. I wanted to go Milwaukee, Boston, but obviously if that series comes about in the second round, they would be matched up against each other, I think. Wait, would that be actually? Yeah, they would because they're the 2-3. So they would play in the second round. But I think that it's going to be Milwaukee and Miami. Obviously, I've been saying all season Milwaukee's my pick to make the finals. I still think that they're well equipped. We saw what they did last postseason. They went all the way to the finals and won it all. But yeah, I'd probably take Milwaukee right now. Miami's been like, I don't know. I've been a believer in them all the season. Their defense is obviously still elite, but recently, they haven't looked as good recently. They're still obviously a very good team. They were missing some players like we said last week for a while, so that kind of caused them to go on a little skid. But I think they're going to pick it up. They're kind of in the better part of the bracket, I guess, in the East playoffs, where the second round they're playing either Philly or Toronto. I'd say that
Yeah.
that's probably the ideal matchup over Milwaukee or Boston. So
Right.
yeah, I'll take Miami, Milwaukee in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay. So assuming, okay, I'm thinking alternate universe if we don't beat the Nets tomorrow. And actually, okay, you know what? I feel like the Celtics could possibly beat the Nets. And I think the 1 and 2
I
are
do
able
too.
to actually not the 1 and 2. Are the 2 and 3 able to would they be up in the second round?
Yes.
Okay, so if that's how it goes, right?
Well, to be honest, Boston has matched up really well against Milwaukee this season too.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a cakewalk for the Bucks either. Like
Yeah.
obviously, you'd much rather have Robert Williams. That's unfortunate. That actually no, he might be back by the second round. I think they said.
Yeah, because they did the quick procedure thing. Yeah, they did the quick drilling. So he might be back. I feel like he might be back. Yeah.
But even
But
if they didn't, I still think that they're well equipped to play the Bucks.
yeah, no,
Like
definitely.
I said, I would still take the Bucks in that series, but I think that would
Yeah.
be a really good
But it
series.
would not be, yeah, it would not be yeah, it won't be a cakewalk. Um, dude, honestly, I have no idea. Because like I said, I want to go Milwaukee for the conference finals, so they'll probably beat Boston. Um, you know what? Milwaukee and Toronto.
In Toronto, ooh,
No, I'm playing. Yeah, I mean, I guess I mean, Milwaukee and Miami makes most sense. I feel like I don't want to drip steal an answer, but at the same time,
no, I got you. I got you.
like I mean, if we keep the standings as it is, right, we'll beat Miami. All right, I have full confidence that we do because I think Jared will be back by then. I think we could beat Miami, but um,
That is if you get past Atlanta or Charlotte.
yeah, that's true. That is also true. But I'm just gonna assume that Jared's back for the second playing game and the playoffs, if that's how it shakes out, right? But yeah, if that isn't what happens and it's the Nets, and then I think, I don't know, Miami and bro, I don't know, that's gonna be a good series too. But assuming the Miami wins, yeah, I think Miami Milwaukee will probably be the most. I mean, I feel like realistic and it would make sense, and I guess I could see it happening. It's just, yeah, I'll probably go with that. Like I said, I don't want drip steal, but at the same time, like in terms of how it would shake out, I feel like that is kind of confident, inspiring. But yeah, I don't know, Brody.
I mean, I would personally love for the Sixers to make a run, but I don't know with our recent play and with like Harden not looking completely healthy, and with especially with us getting the 4 seed, I really wish we had the 3 seed. I feel like we
Yeah,
could have. I would definitely have rather played the Bulls than the Raptors.
yeah, no, that's
That's
true.
not no disrespect to the Bulls, but I feel like we match up so much better against them than we do against Toronto.
Yeah.
But
Wait, so
uh,
if they win the Toronto series,
then we played Miami, or I guess Cleveland. But yeah, Miami.
no, it's Cleveland. Okay. Um, yeah, no, and that's where I think the Sixers road just ends in the second round. I feel like what I mean, regardless of whatever team it is. I'm just saying Brooklyn has got better. But yeah. Anyway, I just want to move to the West. Um, I would say my finals here. You know what? I think this is going to be a basic biatch answer, but I don't care. Uh, yeah.
Phoenix Golden State, is that what you're gonna say?
No. I was gonna say Phoenix, Memphis.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, in our preseason predictions, like I did say that the Mavericks could be. I mean, not the Mavericks. The Warriors could be anywhere from, second round exits to in the finals. But I mean, like I said, I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier because they looked so good at the beginning of the year, and everything was like everything looked like it was clicking. But I think like the Steph thing might be kind of a worrisome thing. And then in terms of again, how will the young guys kind of respond in the playoffs atmosphere is going to be a big question. And yeah, man, I think it's kind of too hard to ignore the Grizzlies, like how good they are, and how like really just dominating they've been, and even without obviously without job, we said it before, like how good they are, and yeah, I mean it's gonna be interesting for sure. I think also another thing is like obviously like again, Phoenix I think is low key basically an automatic team, to have in the conference final spot. I feel like they're probably my favorite to get out of the West, but I think if I'm going, like I said, it's probably a basic answer, but I'm gonna go with Phoenix and Memphis just because like Memphis has been on tear. But again, with that being said, I mean, we did talk about in the last episode where Memphis people have questions about it. Especially considering that, again the fact that the game slows down and their running style could take a hit with that. So and then if especially if they're playing like a more veteran savvy team, in the playoffs, I think it could hurt them as well. But I don't know. I think just seeing what I've seen from the Grizzlies and seeing how much of like a safety that they have, you know what I mean? How much of like a consistent system that they have, I feel like that might be enough to take them to the conference finals. That's just me though. Unique.
All right, so I was kind of hoping that Dallas would have claimed the 3 seed over Golden State because my pick was going to be Phoenix Dallas for the conference finals if that was the case. But with them being 4 now, they would match up with Phoenix in the second round. So again, not the drip steal, but I was going to say Phoenix Memphis for mine as well, to be completely honest. I feel like Memphis is being so overlooked by people.
Yeah.
Like they've had this incredible run all season. Like Ja missed a decent amount of time, but they were still blowing teams out of the water without him. We've talked about it before how Desmond Bain has made such huge strides this year. Jaren Jackson is in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year. I know we're planning the awards show and we kind of have our picks, but I'm still like on the fence for Defensive Player of the Year, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
I have so many guys that I've been considering, and it's going to be a close race. But Jaren is definitely one of the guys I'm considering for that award. Um, Steven Adams has kind of been like the adult in the room there. Like we talk about the youth they have, but he's kind of been like the connector. I feel like there in like both on and off the floor for them. And yeah, I just really love their depth. Like every guy that they have on their roster, I feel like can come in and give you meaningful minutes
Exactly.
if they need them. And they just the way they've been blowing teams out, like I feel like they're being really overlooked. And I think they're kind of built for the playoffs too. Like they had their run last year where John and Dylan Brooks were both balling out in that Utah series. They got some playoff experience. And now with Taylor, I feel like Taylor Jenkins is probably going to be like one of the front runners for Coach of the Year too, because of what he's done with the squad this season.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I feel like they're well equipped with they have a lot of young guys who are on upcoming. They have some veterans like Steven Adams, Kyle Anderson, like I said. Yeah, I really like their chances, to be honest. I think they can, especially if Golden State's not healthy, which I hope they are, because I want to see just like the best spot I possibly can. But yeah, I think they even when Golden State was healthy, they matched up pretty good with them this season too. They've had some really good games. Job has gone crazy despite Golden State like kind of focusing all of their defense towards him. He's still gotten his. He's going to be like an elite shot creator he's going to be an elite go-to guy in the playoffs. I feel like he's really going to make a name for himself.
Yeah,
I
no,
could definitely see
definitely.
them in the conference finals.
Yeah, you can see it in the Memphis, Grizzlies team too. Like they're hungry, and you can see that they're ready for the moment. And
I just really feel like there's going to be like similar to how last year with Trae Young, like he kind of made a name for himself pushing that Hawks team to the conference finals. I feel like every year there's at least one team that kind of surprises people, and there's like kind of like a star is born every season. And for me this year, I'm predicting that to either be like I think Luka or Ja is going to take one of those teams to the conference finals in some
yeah,
way.
no, yeah, dude, it's gonna be yeah. I can't wait. Actually, yeah, right. I think Memphis has just been so nice and so impressive, and so fun to watch, and like you said, I think like Jenkins has done a great job in terms of implementing like a consistent system and a team. Like you're just talking about guys just coming in. Doesn't matter if they're like reserves or bench or starters. Like they're just doing the same thing. They've just been playing sound. And was it against like Phoenix? Did they like crush them without without like some of the main guys? I think I forgot
Ja
who.
was out. I think maybe I think it was just Ja actually. That was like a few weeks ago.
Someone else too.
I don't entirely remember. There may have been. I don't
Yeah, there's
entirely
some,
remember.
yeah, I remember there was like some other one or two other key guys I remember, but yeah, just see stuff like that. I feel like yeah, Memphis is too good, and I could see them easily just going to the conference finals. Like I said, I think Phoenix is obviously just a lock in my opinion, but
Oh yeah, you're right. They had Ja was out in that game. They had no John Morant, no Desmond Bain, no Jaren Jackson, no Steven Adams, and they
yeah,
still beat Memphis, and then they
yeah,
still beat Phoenix.
yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, yeah, you can't ignore stuff like that. So I think that's more like a like automatic given type matchup. But yeah, I don't know. We have a review. I mean, we have a review. We have a comment from a faithful listener, Shimon Sebastian. Thanks for the comment, bro. He said solid review. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Um, but yeah, did you want to wrap up with the game, or did you just
Oh
want
yeah, we can do that real fast.
to? All right.
All right. So as we know, we had our Sunday was the last day. Yesterday, Sunday was the last day of the regular season, and like we said, there was like not really much meaningful basketball playing because either teams were kind of already in a secure spot in the playoffs where they could just rest their guys, or teams were kind of just tanking to try to get their draft order. So I'm going to go through a few of these games and I'm going to read you the box score of some random guys in the league that just went off who have got playing time that usually don't. I'm going to see if you can guess it. If you kept up with the last day of the season.
Sort of did.
I'll start off with an easy one, okay?
Okay.
This isn't really a random guy, but we have 32 points, 10 rebounds, 8 for 11 from three, 14 minutes played.
Well, that's obviously a given. That's the big Dolph, Mr. Sexy Man himself, aka the best power forward in his prime back in 2014, aka the best shooting big man in the game right now, Mr. the one and only Kevin Love, of course.
Yes, sir. And that was I was watching that game a little bit in the beginning. I was kind of expecting it to be a better game, but then I saw who the Bucks were starting at the last second, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'll keep it on for a little bit, see how it goes. And then the Cavs went up like 14-0. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to take my attention away from this now. But yeah, I definitely did go back and watch those Kevin Love minutes, and that was some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're playing against the Bucks reserves, but still, that's 14 minutes, 32 points. You can't really say anything bad about that.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It doesn't matter who your competition is. If you're talking about the shot clock era, you're still playing, big body guys. Like, yeah, that was crazy. I was getting hyped watching that. That was like his 34-point first quarter type vibes. I was like, oh, that's crazy. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was fun. I think he had like 17 and like 8 minutes or something like that. I forgot who tweeted it, but something like that.
I know he had 4 threes in the first quarter.
Yeah, something like that. I was like, bro, that's just crazy. That's just hilarious. But yeah. That's easy though. That's my boy.
All right, you might know this one too. Actually, no, I'm going to give you this. There was 2 players on the same team. Both played 40 plus minutes. First one, 28 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Second one, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 9 of 14 shooting.
This sounds familiar, I think. Nick, Nick, I'm just saying, club on Nick, but I don't even know, man. All right, well, I mean, we'll do like a portal. Is it what conference is it?
East.
And they won?
No, they lost.
Who the hell lost yesterday? Oh, is it? No, there's no way. Is it someone? Is it the Pacers? No.
No, I'll give you a hint. They played the Cavs.
Oh, I'm sure. Wait, is it the GOAT himself, Jordan Nwora?
He had 24 points but he took 23 shots to get there.
Okay, and then yeah, because he started doing some dumb shit. And then who else was going off? I forgot, bro.
Two front court players.
Oh, Mamashvili, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of
Mamu
them.
himself.
And then, yeah, the second one was it Thanasis?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Kupo still dropped 27 without playing.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Nats did some dumb shit out there yesterday. That's kind of funny, but yeah, I remember he made a lot of like stupid dunks and layups and shit. But yeah, is that his career high?
Probably.
Okay. What was it? 27, right?
Yeah, yeah, 27.
Yeah.
All right. There were two players on two different teams that dropped 41 points. Both shooting guards. I'll give you that. Also, again, not really. These two aren't really random players, I would say, obviously, but still very solid performances.
Wait, two players on two different teams that dropped 40?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it the Knicks game?
Uh, they did have a player who dropped 42, but that wasn't who I was going. But if you want to say,
Oh, because I know
I'll
Slavic
accept
Top
it.
did.
Yes, he had
Yeah.
42. I was
Yeah.
watching that game. He was going off. Him and
Yeah.
Quickly were going off. Quickly had a triple double.
Oh, it's cool. Yeah, clearly had triple double. Yeah, 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 right. But he's still not better than Isaac, so it doesn't matter. But um, damn, I don't even know. Two different people played top 40. Were they the East, the West?
Both West.
Both West. Okay. Trying to think. Oh, it's not Reeves, right? He didn't have 40.
He had 30 something. I was
Okay.
going to say him later, so I'll just say him now since you brought it up. Reeves went off as well. He had 31, 16, and 10 triple double.
Yeah.
One of five Lakers rookies to record a triple double with, I think it was Elgin Baylor, Magic Johnson,
Lonzo.
Yeah, Alonzo was one of them, and then who was the
Yeah.
other one? I can't remember who the other one was. But yeah, joining some elite company in
Yeah,
Lakers.
definitely. Yeah, most definitely. That's my fault. But yeah, before I spoil some more, who was it? Who was it?
Oh, it was actually his teammate Malik Monk was one of them. He had 41,
Oh
as
yeah.
well as Jalen Green had 41
Oh shit. Okay.
in
All
the
right.
Hawks game, but they lost.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. The next one I'm going to go with. So this player had 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists in a loss to the Orlando Magic.
Who the hell did the Magic play yesterday? 40, 10, and 7 in a loss to Orlando. I don't even know who they played yesterday, but it was Detroit, was it?
It was not. I'll give you the team. They played the Miami Heat.
40, 10, and 7?
Yep.
Oh, I know. Victor Oladipo, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We saw some prime Oladipo yesterday.
Yeah, I heard about that. Did you watch it? How was it?
I watched a little bit of the first quarter. He started off 5 for 5. He was on fire early on. They were just kind of running through him. They had everybody else resting, so they were just like, all right, let's see what we have. I guess we'll give him some minutes, see if we want to play him in the playoffs. And he kind of showed up.
Damn, this is the version that we were talking about. If Miami
Exactly
like gold with it. Damn, that'd be kind of crazy. All right, I bet. Yeah, let's see if we can do it in the playoffs. That'd be interesting. But yeah, because I remember hearing about that. But yeah. What?
This Sixers duo combined to score 55 points off the bench.
Off the bench?
Yeah.
Oh, they played the Pistons yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn, I definitely heard about this too. The Paul replay, right?
Yep.
And then I'm gonna say screw it and say Shake.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Jake Milton with 30, Paul Reed with 25.
Oh, there you go.
Dynamic bench duo right there. But Doc Rivers won't play him in the playoffs.
We'll play in the playoffs though.
Actually, after the game too, he was like, "We're not on the Paul Reed victory tour. We're trying to win basketball games here." And I was like, "He just dropped 25. Can you at least give him some props or something like that?"
Yeah, right. It's like, bro, it's like he's a player hater on his own team. That's crazy, bro.
All right, this player dropped 35 points for the Bulls.
Troy Brown?
It was not Troy Brown.
35 for the Bulls?
Mm-hmm. He was really just doing this in the summer league too.
Io?
Patrick Williams.
Oh, Pete Will. Oh, my fault. Oh, I didn't even hear about that. Oh shit. What was his full thing? Is 35?
Yeah, 35. I think 4 and 4.
Oh, did they win?
Yeah, they beat the Wolves.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. They beat the Wolves. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's one of the games where I saw the Wolves. I saw the score. I was like, damn. Who won the Wolves play yesterday though?
I think they played most of the. I know Towns didn't play and Russell, but they played Edwards though for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I remember that game, I guess. Yeah, but all right, P Will. Okay, okay. Isaac's still better, but whatever.
All right, last one.
Yeah.
This player for the Grizzlies had a triple double 17, 13, and 10.
17, 13, and 10. Does he usually start?
No,
Xavier Tillman.
it was not Xavier Tillman.
Killian Tilly.
He did not play.
Uh,
I'll give you one more
uh
guess.
Tyus Jones.
He did not play either. John Conchar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard some weird
Oh,
names.
and then I'll just do a bonus one real fast. In the 50-point loss to the Clippers, the Thunder played Georgios Kalaitzakis, the Greek guy who was on the
Yeah.
Bucks earlier this year, was drafted in the second round. He played. He was actually Mr. Irrelevant in the draft too. I just realized he was the 60th pick this year.
I didn't know that.
Played 48 minutes for the Thunder in a 50-point loss. This man did not get a single bit of rest.
What did he score?
He had 17 in 48 minutes.
That's great efficiency. That's maximum efficiency.
He was the leading scorer though.
Oh
Despite them
well.
having a 6-man rotation.
Who was the second leading scorer? Waters.
No, Xavier Simpson. They just signed him out of the G League last week. He's the guard who does the post hooks.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's like my archetype in the NBA. If I ever made it.
That's what I'm saying, bro. If you were 6 inches taller.
Also, shout out Amir Coffey. We mentioned earlier he had 35, 13. Yeah. But yeah, last day of the season, everybody was just kind of like throwing in their end of the rotation guys to get some run while they were getting ready for the playoffs or getting ready for the offseason.
It's like when Jordan McRae dropped like 38 that one game.
Oh yeah, was that 2016?
Yeah, I think it was 2016. Yeah,
because wasn't like didn't they play like him and like what's his face? Didn't they play like him and Dante Jones like almost the whole game?
I don't know if Dante played that game, but I remember. I think I know he played the entire game. I know that. I think James Jones was playing a lot of the games too, or a lot of the game. But yeah, I think it was 2016. But yeah, that was a great game. I had so much fun that game. That was crazy. That was discount KD right there, bro. I wish you got more of a.
One of my favorites was I think it was the Fultz rookie year when he missed almost the whole year due to like all the stuff that was going on. Like it was a really weird situation, but he kind of came back at the end of the year. They were trying to see if they wanted to give him like some playoff minutes. They that last game of the season, they rested everyone. They let Fultz play. He had a triple double. Youngest player at the time, at least, he was the youngest player to record a triple double.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good moment. But that was the Butler year, right? Or no?
That was the Butler year. Was it? Might have been the year. No, I think it was the year before.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, that was
2017, I think, or no, it was 2017 draft. So it was 2018. Yeah, 2018.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That was the Bellinelli year, right?
Yes, Bellinelli, Ilyasova when we got them at the deadline.
Man, what a great Sixers team, dude! That was so fun. I missed that Sixers team, right, fellow Sixers fan?
That was a very fun season, especially at the end of the year. We went on that 16-game win streak.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Sixers bear without Embiid.
I think honestly, my favorite.
JK.
I'm not even like a Sixers fan, obviously, but I think my favorite like moment, I guess, from the past like 5 years, whatever, is when like Embiid he came back for the first time, or he played for the first time, and he just went on that tear and all that shit. That was really cool. I was like, all right, like this dude's crazy, but yeah, that was cool. That was a cool moment. That's when I was a true Sixers fan. You know what I mean?
As opposed to now, I thought you were Team Sixers when we got Harden.
Oh, actually, no, you're right. Yeah, so I was always a Sixers fan.
Yeah.
And like I said, it strengthened when we got Butler, and when we got Harden. So, yeah, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, I think that really just wraps it up. You know what I mean? I think again, postseason does look to be really promising and really fun. I can't wait. And as of Wednesday night, we will know the official matchups. And hopefully we can try to do an episode this Saturday to kind of give a more in depth, I guess, uh, reaction, I guess, to the playing tournament and what our feelings are, and maybe probably delve a little bit into the awards, maybe.
We'll see. I guess maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah. I don't know,
Because
but
we
yeah,
have Mr. Joseph back too.
yes, of course we should. Yeah, hopefully he'll be back by then. But yeah, man, I think that's really it. I think that wraps it up for now. Thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube Live, if that's where you're seeing this. And if you're hearing this on, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we do appreciate the support. Make sure you do subscribe, follow, drop a 5-star, drop a review. You know what I mean? Repost on your stories, hype it up. You dig? And just keep jumping up with support. And thank you guys so much for showing love as always. And we'll definitely try to catch you guys on Saturday, potentially, perhaps. And yeah, man, have a blessed week. And let's pray that the Cleveland Cavaliers can go all the way this year and next year and the year after that. And
Playoffs, baby.
thank you.